This subcommittee has passed the WORDA 2014-16, and they were enacted into law. And it speaks to the members of Congress' desire to respond to the war resources needs of our communities, but also to the demand for increased investment. Can you please describe this, for the subcommittee, the scope of the Chief's reports and post-authorization change reports that the Corps expects to send to Congress this coming months?
So, Mayor, if I understand the question, you're asking me to just briefly describe each of the Chief's reports?
Not each one, but what is the scope of them? What is more important? What has been salient in the submissions to you?
So, ma'am, let me tackle it this way. So, as I mentioned, 3 of the Chief's reports deal with navigation. These are essentially deepening of different segments of the project, as I mentioned, in Norfolk, San Juan, and Seattle Harbor. We have an ecosystem restoration project in, as I mentioned, of the Resacas in Brownsville, Texas. These are the Chief's projects. As you know, they go under concurrent review, both by Congress and the administration.
Okay, I'm interested in more detail on one of them, but I'll ask for it later. Okay. In the a significant amount of time this year to evaluate the federal government's response to the hurricanes, Irma, Maria, and Harvey. Of course, Puerto Rico stands out, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, where people lost their lives, and it took 11 months to restore power to the entirety of the island. Can you provide an update of the Corps' activities in Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands related to the 2017 hurricane? And additionally, the hurricane season has left us largely unscathed thus far. I believe it is imperative that we apply the lessons learned from those hurricanes prepare for future storms. To that end, can you please describe activities the Corps has undertaken or plans to undertake to better prepare our nation for future hurricanes this coming season?
Yes, ma'am. I would start out by saying that any loss of life is tragic, and that our hearts and our thoughts are with those families that suffered the loss of loved ones in the storms of last year. Ma'am, I would refer you to the GAO report that came out. I saw it for the first time yesterday. It came out this month. That effectively describes the conditions that the Corps and our other FEMA partners were operating in. First of all, we had concurrent and overlapping storms. Harvey, Irma, and Maria were disaster number 25, 26, and 27 of 30.
But what about the preparations?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So we go through a very detailed AAR process and capture lessons learned from our performance last year in disaster response. We do AARs, after-action reviews, at the district level, the regional level, and at the headquarters level. I would tell you the actions that we have taken already this year include pre-positioning of people well in advance of the storm. So for example, Hurricane Lane here a couple of weeks ago that approached the main island of Hawaii. We set in advance, long before that storm was scheduled to make landfall, our roofing teams with an advance party of our contractor. We run a model. We can predict what communities were going to have trouble, and we had people on the ground before landfall looking and getting assessments and inventorying of our stocks to ensure that we could respond in a more rapid fashion.
All right. Good to hear, but I'm still worried that we are not prepared enough for in rebuilding to withstand future hard hurricanes. Right.
So I would thank you, Madam, as well as all of Congress, for the very generous appropriation in the Harvey, Irma, Maria storm supplemental. Congress gave us $17.4 billion, and ma'am, that is going to fund 235 projects in 33 states to add resilience to our communities. We are taking this very, very seriously. We know we have to deliver for the nation. In fact, we have a lot of our senior staff meeting in Dallas, Texas this week as we outline that program, because we want to get these projects in the ground as soon as possible.
Thank you very much, sir. Yield back.
Thank you. We're going to go to Mr. Gibbs for a moment.